So Baker Mayfield played 2 series, his first action of the preseason last night against the Atlanta Falcons. Kevin Stefanski talked about if there was any sign of how defenses might defend Baker Mayfield this year.
I mean, obviously the defense is always going to try and get their hands on the ball when they stop the rush for whatever reason. You'll see that from different teams. I don't know that that's a thing that teams are going to try to do. I would tell you when they're trying to bat the passes down, they're not rushing. They've stopped the rush oftentimes, which is a good thing. So we'll see. It's something we coach as well. When you feel like the quarterback has hit his back foot and the ball's coming out, and you're not at the quarterback to get your hands up. So those are the type of things that are really good for Baker and Case to feel, because you got to sometimes slide one spot or the other, or change your arm angle, those type of things to complete a pass.
And the touchdown to Cabot was obviously one of those situations. How good of a throw was that to be able to lift that ball over Walker like that?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good throw. I thought his technique, some of the nuances that he's putting into his technique, if you will, he's really grown in some of the things that he's doing out there.
Let's welcome back in Mary Kay Cabot, who asked that question, Browns beat reporter for Plain Dealer and cleveland.com. Mary Kay, couple of passes batted down to the line of scrimmage, and I think Kevin Stefanski said that's not really a reason to be concerned. Given that it was his first preseason game, that has a lot to do with timing as much as anything else, the timing with the receivers.
Yes, but you know what? I do think that there will be some good data in the early going. The first few weeks, Baker and Kevin Stefanski and Alex Van Pelt will see what teams are going to try to take away from Baker, what he did well last year. And that's the name of the game in football. You try to look at what the other team does really well and take it away. And we know some of the things that Baker Mayfield does well. He's amazing at play action, the bootlegs, the rollouts. He was third in the NFL list last year, rolling out 80 times, and most of those to the left side. So if they start to take some of those things away this year, or try to figure out some ways to defend him, then he's going to have to beat those things. And I don't think that's going to be a problem because he's got so many places to go with the football.
How impressed were you with the 2 series that he had? I know that the first one was a little, rusty, but there were still a number of plays. That offense looked like it was pretty well oiled, and you didn't have Nick Chubb, and you didn't have Jarvis Landry, and you didn't have Odell Beckham Jr., and you didn't have your center, J.C. Tretter. And they still were moving the ball pretty regularly in the first 2 series.
Yeah, I mean, the first series, it did not go the way that they wanted it to. 2 for 6, a couple of drops, a couple of batted passes, and it started out with a holding call. You never want to start out with a holding call and find yourself in 1st and 20 on your second play of the game. So that was, unfortunate, but they rebounded. I mean, Baker Mayfield came out on that second drive and obviously did a really nice job. 4 for 4, 70 yards, the really, really nice touchdown pass, which, again, Kevin Stefanski was talking about the nuances of now they can build on what he was able to do last year. So when a guy gets his hands up in his face like that, do you slide to the left? Do you slide to the right? Do you lift it over him? So these are just some of the ways that he's adding to his game and becoming a more mature quarterback.
What has stood out about him in camp and last night? What are the main differences that you've seen from Baker Mayfield and heard from him in this preseason and training camp?
Confidence, playing faster, knowing where to go with the ball, directing traffic, telling receivers, what might have gone a little bit better on the previous play, being able to sort of own the offense and direct traffic and command how this is going to go. And the other thing is, I think he's so in charge now that I don't think he's going to have voices in his head that tell him, hey, you got to get this guy the ball, or you got to get that guy the ball. I think he's just going to go to the open man, go through his progressions, and do the right thing with the football.
Yeah, it really looks second nature to him, where he might have been thinking a little bit last year. He is just reacting and doing everything that you want a franchise quarterback to do.